Hi, Dr. Shivon. Today is the essay by student Phuong for the unit OPM 5003 about knowledge management strategies formulation. The essay includes introduction, literature review, discussion, application, and conclusion. Knowledge management strategies plays an important part for organizations in managing and leveraging value from their intellectual assets to survive in the modern knowledge era. Some facts that does seem to be agreed on is that the formulation of a knowledge strategy should be strictly aligned with the firm's general strategy in various dimensions, and that different situations require different knowledge management strategy. But the range of different knowledge management strategies on offer can be confusing, and it is often unclear where to begin in choosing a strategy for a particular situation. This essay first will examine a number of published knowledge management strategies and their classification, then consider a range of driving forces behind the strategy's formulation, and second, we focus on the presentation of the interrelationship between organization strategy and knowledge management strategy, and discuss on appropriate knowledge management formation in a turbulent time. And third, propose the application of knowledge management strategy formation in project management environment and its ethical aspect. First, we need a working definition of what knowledge management strategy is. At present, there is still no absolute consensus on what a knowledge management strategy is. There is indeed some knowledge strategies agreement about its essence, such as Molisani 2018 recent defines that while a company strategy generally implies a future vision of the company in terms of its product, market, technology, positioning compared to competitors, a knowledge strategy refers to its relative position in terms of knowledge possessed, learned, shared, and exploited. Next, we go on to survey various knowledge management strategies that have been proposed. The major difference between the various approaches is that they emphasize different aspects of knowledge management. Some strategies focus on the knowledge, others on the business process, and on the end result and external drivers. One of the most widely accepted and widely quoted approach to classifying knowledge from a knowledge management perspective is the knowledge matrix of Nonaka and Takagi and the Boyle's I-space model. What seems clear from both theories is that the process of growing and developing knowledge assets within organizations is always changing. Organizations are living organisms that must constantly adapt to their environment. Week 1997 and the American Productivity and Quality Center identified 6 emerging knowledge management strategies in a study of organizations considered to be leading the way in this area. The strategies reflect the different natures and strengths of the organizations involved. The theories about value disciplines focus on organizations' activities on a particular area and excel at it, rather than trying to be at all things to all people and failing to excel at anything. The three focuses are customer intimacy, product leadership, and operational excellence. That knowledge strategy defines that while each organization will find its own unique link between knowledge and strategy, any such competitive knowledge can be classified on a scale of innovation relative to the rest of the particular industry as a core, advanced, and innovation knowledge. Having identified the organization's competitive knowledge position, that approach is to use a SWOT analysis to identify the strategic gaps in an organization's knowledge, allowing the organization to identify where it has knowledge which can exploit and where it needs to develop knowledge to maintain or grow its competitive position. This could be achieved by analyzing the organization knowledge position along two dimensions: exploit- exploration and exploitation, internal and external. Every organization exists in an environment that conditions the way the organization conducts its business. The theory about external drivers gives example of a number of business drivers for different sectors which have influenced the way organizations in those sectors have gone about knowledge management. This analysis might suggest different knowledge management approaches for different business sectors. Bolisani 2018 provides an overview of the categories of factors influencing the selection of a knowledge management strategy. However, it must be stressed that simply introducing knowledge management system will not automatically change the culture in the way intended. There are lots of factors to do with how a system is implemented and introduced which are crucial to the change process. If we accept that there is a strict relationship between knowledge strategy and company strategy, there is a second issue that is important to consider. What comes first, company strategy or knowledge strategy? Many important literature that analyze the strategic importance of knowledge tend to see a knowledge strategy as a component of the company, which is aligned with the literature review of knowledge management strategy formulation. The literature has started to consider case of knowledge management comes before organization strategy more recently. Given the growing importance of knowledge management strategy in companies, many scholars have started to see knowledge management as an enabler to achieve strategic business objectives, particularly for knowledge-intensive business services, which include companies whose importance is now recognized in the modern economy, such as IT service, business consulting, financial or legal advisors, marketing and communication, with the functioning and the innovative capability are strictly associated with the cognitive assets they possess. In this case, an appropriate knowledge strategy can become a key prerequisite of the company's strategy. Given our analysis on different knowledge management approaches, a question is how to plan the most appropriate knowledge management strategy for organization. The above-mentioned traditional approach is considered that organizations should consider different factors when choosing the knowledge management strategy. Given that some companies never have all the information required to set plans in advance, and new scenarios may emerge all the time, rational planning was criticized due to the fact that some strategists may not have enough knowledge to predict what needs to be predicted and to formulate and analyze all the possible strategic options for the entire company, so it may be wiser to let the organization free to experiment new initiatives that can come from the bottom ground of the company, knowing that knowledge management strategy may happen before organizational strategy due to the nature of the organization and uncertainties of a turbulent and unpredictable world. Traditional knowledge management formation approach may need to be considered carefully. Rational strategy formulation assumes a structured process that takes place periodically and is based on clear and rational models. It is a top-down approach with a clear distinction of competence and precise time sequence. It assumes a good enough knowledge of the environment and the company functioning. It implies a systematic and periodical monitoring and control of the implementation of the strategy, with information collected from the bottom and passed on the top of the company. If we know enough about a company and its competitive environment, we also know what to do. The rational models will bring us to a deterministic conclusion about what should be done. Conversely, emergent strategy formulation assumes that little knowledge can be available in advance on markets, competitors, new technology, and even internal components of the company. The decision and course of action that appears to provide better results emerge from bottom to top, are noticed and selected, and maybe can be later declared as a company strategy. Project manager has to deal with complexities both within the project and in the wider environment outside the project. Dealing with these complexities from the bottom creates challenge for knowledge management in project management. For practice, there needs to be to recognition that knowledge management in project needs to go to beyond having a fairly limited focus on undertaking some lesson learned activities at the end of a project. Rather, it needs to take a broader and more holistic approach involving the capture and use of both explicit and tacit knowledge throughout a project's life, that fostering not only the rational knowledge management strategy formulation, but also the emergent one. An integrated approach to strategy formulation for project management is provided. In the project context, with its temporary nature and constraints on time, cost, and quality, the tacit knowledge sharing between is of vital importance. There needs to be an adequate culture that supports knowledge sharing. Ethical consideration in knowledge management is essential for the discipline to be effective. To be an organization with proper ethical consideration, managers ought to take into account not only organizational, but also individuals' needs. Only by understanding the source of knowledge, in other words, the individual, will it be possible to manage knowledge in organizations. In conclusion, the essay has discussed the key issues of strategy formulation and has argued there is an established tradition of methods from former strategic planning that is still important. Today, however, the essay has also seen how the awareness of uncertainties and turbulence that characterize the context of decision-making have challenged this objective vision of strategy formulation. It has become clear that strategies can be also the ex-post rationalization of solutions that more or less emerge from the daily practice of operatives in companies and projects. In principle, this gives space to creativity and spontaneous learning and can make companies adapt more easily to unexpected change in the markets, technologies, and competitive environments. Similarly, the essay has argued that strategy formulation also considers what a company can or wish to know and learn, and take into account not only organizational but also individuals' needs. To combine these different views, the essay proposed an integrated approach to strategy formulation. This approach combines the different possible orientation to strategy formulation and adopts a view of companies as learning organizations where the single individual at operative level and the management structure must understand how to interact, where rational models and creativity must coexist and mutually exploit one another, and where emotional and spiritual components of knowledge are not left apart but become part of a new way of thinking and seeing the possible of desired future. Thank you.